This is Michael Faulkner, and it's showtime, the December 27th, 2011 edition of the Weekly Podioplex, brought to you by the Chronic Rift. Starting with the box office report for the holiday weekend, the rundown kicks off with number 10 and The Descendants, moving up 1 from 11th. In 9th place is New Year's Eve, down 4 from 4th. At number 8, we find new release The Darkest Hour, opening with a soft $5.5 million. In 7th place is new release War Horse, premiering with $15 million. And at 6th place is new release We Bought a Zoo, with a starting take of $15.6 million. In 5th place is new release The Adventures of Tintin, braving the Christmas box office with a $16.1 million start. In 4th place is new release The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, starting its run with $19.4 million. In 3rd place is last week's runner-up with Alvin and the Chipmunks, Shipwrecked, adding another $20 million to its $57 million total. In 2nd is last week's winner, Sherlock Holmes, A Game of Shadows, pulling in $31.8 million for a new total of $90.6 million. Taking first place was Not Impossible for the IMF. In number 1 is Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol, up 2 from 3rd place. Ghost Protocol took in $46.2 million to bring the 4th movie in the franchise to $78.6 million over the holiday weekend. It seems this mission is well on its way to beat not only Mission Impossible 3's $134 million finish, but also the $181 million of the original film as well. The week of December 30th rings out 2011 with a handful of new releases, beginning with Newlyweds, a drama starring Edward Burns, Caitlin Fitzgerald, and Carrie Bechet.
I heard that if you do not wake up at least one morning a week and look over at your partner and think, I have made a terrible mistake, then there's actually something wrong.
Well, Marsha feels that way every morning.
When I married you, I inherited your family, all right? I am just trying to do the right thing by all of them. You would do the same thing for me, would you not?
Hi, I'm looking for Buzzy O'Rourke.
He's actually at work right now. Who is this?
I'm his sister, Linda.
Guess who rang our buzzer this morning?
Guess who?
Your sister.
Thank you so much for letting me stay here.
I'm kind of in shock. Look at you, you're all grown up.
I think she's a little bit in trouble. This is what the kids are doing these days. They go to the clubs and they meet random guys.
That's what the kids are doing.
Totally. I read it
You're
in the
not
magazine.
at all being helpful here, all right?
Katie said I'm not supposed to have strange men in the apartment. She and I wouldn't have a problem if you hadn't told her anything about last night.
This is what we do. We tell each other everything. It's called honesty.
Really? That sounds like a terrible idea.
Has Bessie mentioned anything to you about Max being unfaithful?
No. Why? What's going on?
There's this girl at the studio.
Yeah, I think I have like a daddy complex. How old are you?
I swear to God, she's gorgeous.
I don't want to hear this.
Why don't you just ask her out? You're just turning into a disgusting old man.
I just met Katie's ex-husband, Dara.
Please don't tell me you two, this is happening.
Stole my coat and used all my towels and slept with someone on my kitchen counter. Your sister is the devil!
Oh my God. We need to get as far away from any of our relatives as possible.
I feel like I don't know you the way that I should know the person that I'm married to.
We have the perfect setup and you're blowing this.
No, but I don't
way out of proportion.
I don't want a setup, Buzzy. I want a marriage.
We can handle whatever life throws at us. Do me a favor, how do you spell vasectomy, though?
Newlyweds Buzzy and Katie find their blissful life disrupted by the arrival of his half-sister and news of her sister's marriage troubles. Newlyweds is not rated and opens on December 26th. This week also brings 3 Christmas Day releases. The first is War Horse, a war drama starring Jeremy Irvine, Emily Watson, and David Thewlis.
What is it?
It's a horse they found wandering about in no man's land.
What kind of an horse?
A miraculous kind of an horse, be my guess.
I promise you that I'll look after him, and if I can, I'll return him to your care.
He's my horse, sir. imagine flying over a war. And you know you can never look down. You have to look forward, or you'll never get home.
It is an honor to ride beside you. Let every man make himself and his country proud. Be brave. Be brave. Be brave.
Young Albert enlists in the service in World War I after his beloved horse Joey is sold to the cavalry. Albert's hopeful journey takes him out of England and across Europe as the war rages on. Warhorse is rated PG-13 and open on Christmas Day. The other two Christmas releases are repeats from last week's edition. The first is The Darkest Hour, a sci-fi action film starring Emil Hirsch, Olivia Thirlby, and Max Minghella. In Moscow, 5 young people lead the charge against an alien race who have attacked Earth via our power supply. The Darkest Hour is rated PG-13. The third Christmas release is in limited theaters, Extremely Loud and Incredibly Close, a drama starring Thomas Horn, Tom Hanks, and Sandra Bullock. A 9-year-old amateur inventor, francophile, and pacifist searches New York City for the lock that matches a mysterious key left behind by his father, who died in the World Trade Center on September 11, 2001. Extremely Loud and Incredibly Close is rated PG-13. Also in limited release this week is A Separation, a drama from Iran, starring Payman Mahdi, Layla Hatami, and Sarah Bayat. A married couple are faced with a difficult decision to improve the life of their child by moving to another country or to stay in Iran and look after a deteriorating parent who has Alzheimer's. A Separation is rated PG-13. And the last film in our slate is Pariah, a drama starring Ederpo Odoye, Kim Wayans, and Asha Davis. A Brooklyn teenager juggles conflicting identities and risks friendship, heartbreak, and family in a desperate search for sexual expression. Pariah is rated R and opens on December 28th in Los Angeles, New York City, and San Francisco. December 27th also brings some new releases to home entertainment, beginning with Final Destination 5, a thriller starring Nicholas D'Agosto, Emma Bell, and Arlen Escarpeta. Survivors of a suspension bridge collapse learn there's no way you can cheat death. Final Destination 5 is rated R. Next up is Apollo 18, a thriller starring Warren Christie, Ryan Robbins, and Ali Liebert. Decades-old footage from NASA's abandoned Apollo 18 mission, where 2 American astronauts were sent on a secret expedition, reveals the reason the U.S. has never returned to the moon. Apollo 18 is rated PG-13. Next we have Hostel Part 3, a thriller starring Thomas Kretschmann, Zule Hano, and Sarah Habel. While attending a bachelor party in Las Vegas, 4 friends are enticed by 2 sexy escorts to join them at a private party way off the strip. Once there, they are horrified to find themselves the subject of a perverse game of torture, where members of the elite hunting club are hosting the most sadistic show in town. Hostel Part 3 is rated R, and will also be in select theaters starting on December 27th. And the main home entertainment slate rounds out with A Good Old-Fashioned Orgy, a comedy starring Jason Sudeikis, Leslie Bibb, and Tyler Labine. A group of 30-year-olds who have been friends since high school attempt to throw an end-of-summer orgy. A Good Old-Fashioned Orgy is rated R. Moving right along to TV on DVD, we begin with Archer, Seasons 1 and 2, starring H. John Benjamin, Jessica Walter, and Chris Parnell. Suave secret agent Sterling Archer is the world's most dangerous spy, but political intrigue and global crises are nothing compared to the sexual tension and human resource crises at the intelligence agency where he works. Archer must deal with his overbearing, oversexed mother, who is also his boss, and his femme fatale ex-girlfriend who seems to be sleeping with everyone except him. Embezzlement, mind control, hangovers, and demented double crossings, they're all in a day's work for this outrageously raunchy comedy. Next, we move on to The Borgias, the first season, starring David Oakes, Luke Pasqualino, Ronan Viebert, and Jeremy Irons. The Borgias is a complex, unvarnished portrait of one of history's most intriguing families. Oscar winner Jeremy Irons stars as Rodrigo Borgia, the cunning, manipulative patriarch of the Borgia family who ascends the highest circles of power within Renaissance-era Italy. The series begins as Rodrigo becomes Pope Alexander VI, propelling him, his 2 Machiavellian sons, Caesar and Juan, and a scandalously beautiful daughter, Lucrezia, to become the most powerful and influential family of the Italian Renaissance. And our TV on DVD slate rounds out with Shameless, the complete first season, starring William H. Macy, Emmy Rossum, and Joan Cusack. An alcoholic man lives in perpetual stupor, while his 6 children with whom he lives cope as best they can. Finally, we take a look at one classic coming to Blu-ray, 9 Months, a romantic comedy from 1995 starring Hugh Grant, Julianne Moore, and Tom Arnold. When he finds out his longtime girlfriend is pregnant, a commitment phobe realizes he might have to change his lifestyle for better, or much, much worse. 9 Months is rated PG-13. I'm skipping over the quick flicks this week, but I want you to rest assured that the Weekly Podioplex will be back in the new year. When the show returns next week, I'll be adding a look at some of the movies coming to Netflix instant streaming, along with some cross-promotion for other podcasts, and I'm always looking for ways to improve the show. If you have any suggestions for content you'd like to see on the Weekly Podioplex, please take a moment to drop me a line. You can surf on over to chronicriff.com and leave a note in the forums. You can leave a voicemail at 888-866-9010, or you can write to John at chronicriff.com. You can follow us on Tumblr, tweet us on Twitter, check in the network on GetGlue, watch the classics on Funny or Die, or leave us a review on iTunes. The Chronic Rift is also on Stitcher Radio, and you can also find the Weekly Podioplex and the Chronic Rift on Facebook and Google+. If you decide to pick up any of this week's new releases, why not do it through our Amazon store? You get the newest entertainment at Amazon's low prices and high-quality service, and each purchase you make through the store supports the Chronic Rift. Look for the link in our show notes. The Weekly Podioplex is a collaboration of Critter Criticality and Lucky Shot Productions, and is produced by John Screw. This is Michael Faulkner. Thanks for listening. Be safe over the New Year's weekend, and I'll see you at the theater in 2012.